Welcome. Greetings. I am Dr. Jamel D. Carter, the president and CEO of the Kayannus Consulting Group, where we are a full service management and educational consulting practice, where we have a variety of services available to you and your organization, such as executive coaching, human resources and organizational development consulting, market research, intensive boot camps, such as our nonprofit formation, business growth, grant writing, fundraising, and development. In addition, we offer growth circles, which are intimate groups for leaders to come together for professional development, peer encouragement, and up to date best practices. Join a growth circle today. We have growth circles for CEOs, entrepreneurs, pastors, nonprofit executive directors, and educational leaders. This is your business alert for Monday, January 24th, 2022. Your source for breaking news, information, trends, and commentary, all designed to assist leaders such as yourself thrive in both life and career. I invite you to like, follow, subscribe, share, and comment. In addition, you can follow me on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Parler at Dr. JD Carter. That is the @DRJD Carter, CARTER. There are a couple of stories that crossed the wire over the past, over today, that I would like to cover for you and offer some commentary just in case you may have missed them. The first one was in a major blow to pharmaceutical companies Regeneron and Eli Lilly. The FDA has halted their monoclonal antibody therapeutic. According to the data, antibodies for these therapeutics do not work against the Omicron variant, and which now accounts for nearly all of U.S. COVID infections. The regulatory move was expected. This was after the drug makers had shared the data concerning the mutations were making it difficult for their drug or their therapeutic to treat those that were suffering with the Omicron variant of COVID-19. One of the things I think is important when we're looking at this, I do think the science is rapidly developing, but I do think there are tons and tons of data and information that's available. One of the things I do know, we do have a lot of people that are coming forth forcing various types of mandates as to what they think should go on, which we're seeing a lot of these things are finding themselves into the court. What's going to come of it, I will say, as the virus mutates, we are seeing that there are a lot of people running around with COVID that do not know they have COVID. I think what we're also seeing, yes, we're seeing an uptick in the number of cases, but I think if we're looking at where we're at in terms of mortality rate and we compare that to last year, we're pretty similar. Essentially, if you're having, if you catch it, you're more than likely over 90% chance of survival, which was what we saw previously. But I think more people are now being aware, and I think we're seeing an uptick in cases because more and more people are being tested, which we did not have that previously. Activist investor Blackwell's Capital has called for the Peloton CEO to be fired, as well as for the company to explore possible sale of their venture. This is a result of shares for Peloton going down throughout the course of the pandemic. Of course, there was some litigation that was filed against the company as a result of a miner dying on one Peloton machine. But one of the things I think is important to note, Blackwell's Capital controls less than 5% of Peloton's shares. And I think what we're seeing here is if you are a CEO, if you're someone that owns a company there is control in making sure that you keep 51% of interest. Yes, Blackwell Capital has a 5% stake, but if you're looking at the number of votes that they have, they really do not have the power to force the CEO out. Yes, they have given money to the company, but I think right now when you're looking at their equity stake is very minimal in terms of the company, because there's 95% of the company that's still out there. And yes, you have this small minority vote asking that the CEO be removed. I don't think the CEO will be removed. Any of you are thinking about possibly taking your companies public in the future, I just do want to remind you that as an entrepreneur, as a leader, you want to maintain control of your vision. And if you're selling more than 50% or 50% or more of your shares, you will lose control of your business. So that's something to consider when you're looking to grow and to expand in terms of where you're going to take your business. The other story that I want to highlight comes from Merrill Lynch. They fired one of their analysts after a TikTok rant went viral, in which James Inasco was arrested, where he was throwing drinks at a smoothie store worker. And he had been working for the company since 1995. What had happened here, and one of these things I do feel for him, I do feel for his son. This was not one of his best moments, but his son was hospitalized, and he went into a life-threatening shock because his son has an allergy to nuts, and somehow his son his drink had a nuts in them, or came into contact with nuts, and it caused his son to go into essentially have a life-threatening episode. Now, the way in which he handled himself was not the best. Definitely to go and be belligerent and throw things at a worker is never acceptable. And I think what we see here for businesses, they have to make sure that their employees represent them in a positive light. And with him going viral, because such a tirade was projected and out there concerning what he was doing, this was something that Merrill Lynch could not afford to have. But I would say that maybe some grace, maybe a moment will come of this for him. Definitely, there's no report as to whether or not his son is now fully recovered. But I could imagine if you are a parent and your son ends up in the hospital, not saying that this justifies his behavior. What I'm saying is that a concerned parent who's afraid of losing their son and or daughter may react in a very emotional way, being controlled by their emotions, that may cause him or her to do things that are not in the best interest of themselves long term. And so his actions has led to him losing his job. And hopefully he'll be able to bounce back and find another position. But now, you have a son in the hospital, and now you have no health benefits to take care of your son because of your viral episode. I will tell any of you, if you find yourself in a very stressful predicament or situation, take a deep breath, try to relax, make sure you do not engage in behaviors that may result in you losing your job. The last story that we are going to cover on this evening for this alert: a federal judge in Texas has blocked the Biden administration from enforcing an executive order requiring all federal employees to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Biden's executive order amounts to presidential mandates that all federal employees consent to vaccination against COVID-19 or lose their job, is what the judge wrote. The ruling marks the latest loss for President Joe Biden, whose perceived overreach has led to numerous challenges in the courts by states, by various individuals. I think that this is something that will always happen. If you have a Republican in the White House, if you have a Democrat in the White House, the opposition party seems to always try to find favorable judges to kind of stop the momentum of what the administration that is serving may be trying to implement. Is this the best strategy in terms of increasing vaccination numbers? I do believe people should have a choice in the matter. I do understand that there are some people that are concerned, they are fearing for their life. Not that I'm an anti-vaxxer. I do think we need to be measured in how we respond, and also how we reflect on how other people choose to protect their body. I think we are a nation which allows for people to have free choice. Definitely, I do think people will say, well, it's a public health crisis. But once again, look at the mortality rates, and you'll see that, it's kind of like, I use this analogy, I think on Sunday in a discussion. If your son or daughter brings home a report card where they have all A's and maybe one B, and you spend all your time focusing on the B, you're doing a disservice to your child, I think so, because they have done very well. I think when you look at those individuals who have caught COVID, over 90%, I think somewhere like 97, 98% of the individuals recover and do not die. And that's all age groups. There has been data that has come out and said that those who have died had various comorbidities with the illness as well. So I do think people should talk with their own personal family doctor and make the decision that's best to them, or best for them. I do know that there are a lot of people now trying to mandate booster shots. And where do we go? Is this, you're going to mandate a booster shot every 6 months for your employees? I think that becomes problematic when we do not have any longitudinal long-term studies on what the results may be. If you're consistently putting the vaccine in your system, especially when you do have information out there where the drug companies are trying to fight to protect their patents, and we do see a lot of people are making a lot of money on this, and there are nations where you're having trouble getting the vaccine to their citizens, but we now have people in America that's getting ready and prepared to take a fourth dose of the vaccine. So I think when we talk about equity and all of these things, we have to ask, are we best serving globally the citizens of the world? So I think there's going to be more things that's going to come out of this. I do think we're going to continue to see more challenges from states and individuals demanding to have things fall in line with how they would like to see it. For a word of encouragement for you on today, I want to let you know that it's important that you move fast and seize your opportunities. One of the things that you need to know, vacillation and wavering can be problematic for you. Leaders must be willing to take decisive action. Most people avoid decisions out of fear of failure. If you do not take a step forward today, chances are you will never move. So if there's something you desire to do, if there's something you want to do, take it upon yourself to get it done. And one of the questions that we tend to ask those who come to us for coaching is, how well do you handle or respond to challenging or critical feedback? Are you surrounded with people who are afraid to challenge you? Great leaders are aware of the dangers of groupthink. And one of the things you have to understand is that groupthink can be detrimental to the long-term health and sustainability of an organization. Growth comes when we're open to allowing people to shed light on our blind spots. If you want to be a great leader, be willing to listen to your direct reports, be willing to listen to your colleagues. This is the only way in which you're going to grow. I just want to remind you that we here the Kayannus Consulting Group is available to assist you and your organization align your human capital with your long-term organizational strategy. So feel free to call on us for a no-fee consultation and explore how we can assist you in getting your ideas and your concepts back in focus. You can reach us at 1-800-418-5350. Once again, I hope you found today's alert to be informative, encouraging, and noteworthy. Once again, I invite you to like, follow, subscribe, share, and comment. Help us get the word out. I pray that God shines upon you and your organization this week. May clients come to you from the north, the south, the east, and the west. May you and your family continue to go from blessings to greater blessings. Until next time,